All right, well, this is it. This is my Honda SMX, so let's open the door and figure this thing out. So what we've got here is a really long bench seat, and I've always been a fan of bench seats. In fact, it's kind of always been my favorite car orientation from back in the day when my father used to own old American V8s and you could just all sit together. So I can do that. I can just sit here, and the cool thing about these as well is these seats will lie entirely flat, so this whole thing essentially becomes a bit of a bed. We have a sunroof above me, which I'm not game enough to open at the moment, and we've got a column shift automatic here. Here's the dash setup. We do have the plastic cover for here, don't worry, but we've got a column shift automatic, which I'm not really upset about. If it was manual, then I couldn't have all this room here. So yeah, the interior of these things is fine. This one here has been sitting for about 10 years, but it could do with some cleaning. We could probably get a proper cleaner in here, a house, what do you call this? You could probably get like a carpet cleaner and sort out all this kind of stuff. The ones you hire from the local supermarket or whatever. Here is your cover for the dash there, where the shifter comes out. One other thing is they've got one door there, two doors there. And as I come back, let's go open the fourth. They've got the third door here. Oh, there isn't one. So it literally doesn't have a door here, but I'm 100% fine with that. Things that are worth mentioning is that this thing has been sitting for a really long time. So, as I've talked about, this car needs quite a bit of love and care. We've got cracks in the rubber there, so these tires are no good. But I think first port of call, because I've already taken the body kit off, so we could get it on the car transporter that we used the other day. But what we should do is probably just clean the heck out of this, which I think is kind of the plan today. Type R badge, and the reason for that I'll show you soon. We'll have a look under there. This kind of stuff happening with the wheels here. I've gone to put WD-40 on all the things I might need to loosen eventually, but the brakes are somewhat stuck on. They're going to need a bit of a rebuild. Tire, look at the cracks in the rubber there. It's in a bit of a state, but that's kind of what I'm excited about, because it gives me the opportunity to work on a project and do something exciting. So this, if it was far forward enough, is a bit of a bed situation. Got some lovely 6x9s in the back there, which the owner of this car, before he graciously donated it to me, has said that he wants those back, so that's no problem, we'll get those out. And there's a couple of subs under here as well. The thing is, the back latch only works on central locking, and it's not unlocking at the moment, so we've got to try unstick that. There's a panel on the inside I can open to. So there's two subs in here that he does want back, so that's no problem at all. There's a V-rod going past. So yeah, some pretty impressive pieces of kit. One of my friends did make a good point about this car. If you saw it outside a party in its heyday, 2008 onwards through to 2015, 14, 13, you knew it was going to be really good, because this guy was a DJ and kind of did a lot of cool stuff. So if we go down here, there's a large cannon. And the reason for the large cannon and the body kit and all that kind of stuff, which I have removed the body kit, is, let's go have a look. First of all, got an Etterbox sticker. It's a throwback. If you're a Tauranga or a New Zealand local and you wore clothes back in the day, you may know that brand. So these came out with a B20 standard, which is a non-VTEC 2-litre Honda engine, 4-speed automatic. That is a VTEC head. So this has got a B18C head on it. It's got a inlet manifold. I believe that's the right name. I'm so used to motorcycles. Is from a B16 and has been modified to suit, and it's just been sitting. So this thing here got taken apart and had a whole bunch of engine work done. I've have tried to start it, so this has come off, but we haven't started it yet successfully. And what I have done is drain the fuel tank. There's actually a plug at the bottom of the fuel tank, so that's good. That's the color of the fuel that's coming out. That's probably why I couldn't start it at the start. Didn't have to rip the tank out, and I've put new fuel in, tried to crank it over, wasn't happy. It doesn't sound like it's priming, so today's missions, which may be 2 different videos, will be clean the heck out of this thing in here and outside, because it's just grime everywhere. Got clear light coming off the headlights, got cobwebs here. It's just not, hasn't been loved in a long time, so I want to do that, see if we can somewhat make those wheels look a bit better. But I'd probably end up ripping them all off and doing them in one go as well. But I think this is just a good opportunity to show you what we're dealing with. Honda SMX RH1. It's not the low down model. They did come in a low down model, but this is just the standard model. But yeah, it's now VTEC and had a whole bunch of engine work done and really didn't get many Ks put on the clock after that engine work was done. So, you know, the whole engine was out, rebuilt, and supposedly puts out between 200 to 220 horsepower. So that's a lot for this thing, and I'm very excited about it. You can see at the top there, the top hat, there's adjustable suspension. So in the front we've got adjustables, and then the rear as well. And we're kind of lucky because, you know, that gives us the ability for this thing to be as low as it is. But in saying that, there's no give. I've got some other parts for this as well. So the front is off at the moment and the side skirts are off. So it usually sits a lot lower, which I can show you. But yeah, we just need to see, can we get this to go? And then once we get this to go, we need to find someone who has access to a hoist, and we need to get up there and see how much of the illegal stuff is underneath it. And by illegal, I mean that thing beginning with R. Which I don't want to say out loud to jinx myself at the moment. So that's why it's got a Type R badge anyway. Let's quickly have a look at the other parts. So we've got monsoons here for all of the windows, which I'm quite happy about. Under here as well, we've got an entire subframe without the adjustable suspension, but I think the other one, because it was so low, was doing a little bit of scraping here and there. And so this one gives us the ability to just swap it out basically, put the adjustable suspension in it, and yeah, you've got a much nicer subframe that hasn't been sitting with its bum absolutely on the floor, scraping. It came with some coolant, came with some oil, and we've got this here as well. So this is the front guard, the front lip, sorry. I've also got the side skirts, and there was a spare radiator there as well. So that's kind of essentially what we're looking at. So I mean, basically that's what we've got. We've got a Honda SMX that needs a lot of love. I don't really know what condition it's in at the moment, you know. We did try start it, but it had been sitting. It started last time in March. The fuel smelled absolutely atrocious, so I emptied that out yesterday and didn't really film it. And I just can't hear a prime from the fuel pump at the moment, so we'll get into that. But I think first protocol today will be this washing, so I'll get the washing done. And I do really want to document the whole journey of this build with you, but to what extent, I don't know. You know, I have visions and dreams of sitting there and, you know, like documenting every single dollar spent, which I have kept track of so far, and kind of letting everyone know the process to get this on the road. But yeah, there might be some things I don't want to show. The plates that are on it that say Crayola, they'll be coming off. They're going back to the owner. They were just, you know, one of the fixings for the front plate is rusted on, so I can't even get that off at the moment. I have to drill it out. But that's okay. It's not so much of a big deal. So yeah, let's break it down really simply. Need to clean it, need to make it run, need to get it on a hoist, okay? And in that order, I would say. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the heck out of it today. I've got a brand new battery sitting there, just topping it up on the charger now. We'll see after we've cleaned it if we can get access to the fuel pump under the rear seats, which are a little bit annoying to access because of all the speakers in the way, and I can't actually open the tailgate at the moment. So I need the tailgate to open to make this a whole bunch easier. But yeah, that's about it. There's not much else I can talk about at this point.